Okay, gang. It's been a while since we did Trials of the Shogun, but we're all here now. Who remembers what happened last time? I know it was like 3 weeks ago, but hopefully everyone remembers.
As I remember, we died.
Yes, everyone did die.
Not as in our characters, but the people themselves behind the characters died.
Yes. You're all clones of the original Sigi, Hope, and Joseph. And I've used my Jeff Bezos-like fortune to do something stupid, just like he did. And I've cloned people for D&D. But actually what happened last time was, there was a lot of philosophical and political discussion as we settled the issue between Tiger Mole and Salamander.
Yay.
The party talked their way out of a fight, and a conflict between the yokai was happily avoided. We pick up with the group as they are leaving Salamander's cave after returning to him with the news of Tiger Mole's agreement. And using your kites, you are ready to take off. Now, where are we going, gang? By the way, do I sound good to everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm talking to slightly quieter than usual.
Well,
Fine to me.
All right.
I say our next stop is Disneyland.
All right. Disneyland could be on the way. It's not been confirmed or denied.
Let's go to the next possible yokai.
The nearest one that you are aware of is down the peninsula there, is Spider.
Yeah. Don't they have a
So-
relationship with a human or something weird?
That's the rumor you
Yep.
heard from Tiger Mole.
Yeah.
So that sounds like where we're going next.
All right, gang. The group takes off with their kites. Sigi, give me some survival checks. Sorry, I just realized you're not actually on the map.
Alright.
Go. All right. Not a super amazing roll, but it's enough to navigate. The group sails the sort of warm winds of the Minkai coastal area. You eventually do reach this long strip of land that you see that sort of juts out into the ocean before curving almost like a fish hook. This whole stretch of land here is a main road essentially in the middle of two coasts, and it is essentially this sort of the middle of this area is sort of like a highland that kind of like stretches up out of the water with a sort of sloping beaches on each side. Sort of like not very sandy. Most of the beaches, they're more like rocky beaches. Although there are some sandy beaches you could find. All right. All right, I'm going to roll some random encounters as you reach the second day. Okay, let's see here. So, as the night comes, you sort of swoop down because you know the kites don't work at night. Um, you sort of swoop down to begin to make camp. Um, is there any specific place you'd like to look for when camping on these sort of like rocky beach areas? Uh, any sort of geographical formations you're looking for? Lots of trees, flat land. What are you thinking, Sigi?
um,
A sort of like hilly area, or do you want to camp directly on the beach?
I mean, if it's up to me, um,
Well, what's it called? Well, you're the one with the actual like knowledge of what's
right.
good. So whatever you choose, you can make a decent campsite at either one. It's really just up to preference.
Oh, okay. I don't know, beach, I guess, because that seems cool.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. Well, you settle down for the night on a beach, and I have a map for it. Tell me you're loaded in.
Okay, loaded.
I'm loaded.
Loaded.
Nice. Okay, gang. You start your fire as the sun is sort of waning. The sort of orange and purple sky, sort of juxtaposed by the beautiful aurora of the cradle that sort of covers the planet. Um, gives a definitely like a very beautiful light show as you guys sort of set up camp, you set up your tents, uh, start a fire, and Sigi starts sort of preparing rations that you guys have. You can sort of look around. The place you have settled in for the night is a sort of small valley. These sort of like cliffs looking down from above, making it very hard to see you from the main road. As well as a sort of broken and rotted boat hangs on the on the beach's edge. Um, as well as this place does not look well traveled. You don't see, as you were setting up camp, you didn't see any footprints, anything in the sand. The most you would see is probably crabs, as well as maybe like harmless yokai, either forest spirits, no, tree spirits, or some sort of either colorful or uh, much larger than normal fish. Let's see. All right. And as you set up for camp, is there anything that anyone wants to do in the evening?
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let's grab the wrong person. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Shizuko about the my concerns with what it actually means for a human to uh, mate with a yokai. What does that actually mean beyond what Tiger Mole Tiger Mole said? I want to understand what it means from his perspective because he's been my advisor on spirit matters. Because I need to know how to come at this and if it's likely to produce problems.
Shizuko will tell you. Specifically, he doesn't know of any issues. Yokai and human can, they can mate and they can have human children. there's been no, like, I mean, there's been stories of, like, yokai and human pairing producing monsters, but he's never heard of any of those stories actually being substantiated with anything. He's not exactly sure. It could depend on the yokai. He's not an expert on everything yokai, and he doesn't know what kind of yokai spider is.
Okay. Well, he's been my advisor so far, so I'm going to take his advice under consideration when looking at the situation.
Okay. Zhijian Bao and Wu Yan, what do you guys think about doing?
I'm petting Mao.
Nice. Mao does that thing that small cats do where they meow even though they're, like, way too big. Zhijian, what about you?
I'm just kind of hanging out, relaxing. Well, not relaxing, but you know.
Okay, you have yourself sitting down as you sort of lean up against the stack of firewood that's been collected as you look over the sort of well, you look out towards the horizon, seeing the sun, not exactly the sun setting because that would be looking north, but you see the colors of the sunset. Make a perception check, Zhijian Bao.
Skill check.
Nice. Alright. In the distance, at first, you think it's a trick of the light. And the sort of many vibrant colors of the cradle messing with you, but with its dull colors, it's very easy to see against the horizon. In the distance, walking not on the water, but in the water, far out. So whatever is walking must be incredibly tall. Walking out in the water, you see a creature. I will show you the art of it. Here's a challenge. Try not to laugh at this art. He's just vibing. He's not that close. He's maybe like a quarter of a mile away. And this strange, no-armed, three-legged creature is walking. From its height and the way that it's moving, it must just be walking on the ocean floor. It doesn't seem to notice you. It's not walking towards you. In fact, it's actually walking away from the shore. Sort of in a, not directly away, but maybe like, if the shore is facing north, it's moving like northwestern, yeah, in that sort of direction, and sort of just walking out into the ocean. You're the only one that sees this currently. Everyone else is kind of preoccupied. Yuan Haobo and Shizuko are in a quiet conversation, and Mao is like on his back, rubbing around in the sand.
I'm gonna point it out to them. First I'm gonna point it out to Wuyan because I don't want to interrupt their conversation. But yeah, sort of like point out at the shore, like at the ocean.
All right, Leon, as it's pointed out to you, your very well-trained eyesight picks it out pretty easily, across, sort of contrasting the beautiful colors of the skyline. That's a big boy, with a big bulbous nose and a single, kind of dopey-looking eye. It seems kind of cute in like a weird way. It's like plump, and he's kind of just like stumbling out into the ocean. Despite the fact that it's clearly walking farther and farther away from the shore, it doesn't seem to get any deeper. And its elevation never changes. It never sinks or rises in elevation. You don't know if it's walking on the water or it's really tall.
Huh.
That is all. Maybe like a minute after you spot it, it eventually walks out of sight.
Very interesting.
Do either of you have knowledge religion or knowledge nature?
Knowledge nature sounds like something I might have.
Well, try it out.
Let me see. I
Yep, you have
do
knowledge
have
nature.
knowledge nature. So that's is that a skill check?
Yep, it's under skill checks, and I think it's the only knowledge skill you have.
Yeah.
It's clearly some kind of yokai. Although you've never seen a yokai like that in Xiaolang. It must be a native. It must be a specifically native to this island kind of yokai.
Unique yokai. Very interesting.
Okay, right around this time, Yuan Haobo, your conversation with Shizuko ends, and Shizuko, he picks up Zehu and sort of sets the fox on his lap as he sort of looks towards the fire.
Okay, I will relax as well. Just kind of kick my feet back, look around, enjoy the basics of the warmth and all of that.
See, Wuyan coughs deeply.
Yeah. Did you see that over there?
Whoa, is that a new bubble? Hey, it's a new bubble design. They still have the finger, but we have a new bubble design. That's cool.
Wait, how do you get the finger?
Control Shift Space.
Really?
How do I get speech bubble?
The bubble is Control Shift, Control Space. The thinking bubble is Shift Space. The arrow pointer is just space. It's rarely used. The bubbles are rarely used, but they can add some shit. Like if you want to say something to yourself, and just yourself only in your thoughts, you have the thinking bubble. Wuyan points out to the horizon. Yuan Haobo and Shizuko both look out. Yuan, you don't see anything besides the setting sort of starlight.
There was something out there.
Yes. It was a very large creature. Some sort of yokai. I've not seen one like it before.
Shizuko looks at you and says, oh, could you describe it?
Well, it had an eye. It looked it looked very strange. Uh, very dopey looking. Had a uh, somewhat of a big nose, a single eye. Yes, 3 legs. Was very tall.
Talking about me? No. Shizuko will roll. Shizuka says, oh, they're very rarely seen. It's an Amabiko. It's an ocean spirit. It warns travelers of danger.
It did not come over here, so there must not be danger. For we are travelers.
It doesn't warn. It warns with its appearance.
Oh,
So maybe the Amabiko
So-
suspected we were in danger.
that's not good.
Hmm.
What, I wonder what kind of danger we're in, supposedly.
Shizuko kind of looks around in every direction, and so does everyone else as this sort of like weird feeling comes over everyone. Ever make perception checks? I wonder if we're in danger. Looks around. Okay, I'm gonna roll some secret stealth checks. Alright. Most of you hear it. As you sort of look around, you hear the sounds of scuffling rocks over here near this sort of cliffside. And you see a very small rock slide, like maybe a few pebbles and a few decent sized rocks, sort of scuttle down the side. And as you look up the trail to see what is making that scuttle, you see a long, hairy leg with a spindly blade on the end of it. And as you sort of peek out, you see several of them. I will reveal them to you. I'll zoom in on their art.
Jesus.
These creatures, with the bodies of spiders, the head of a sort of piggish man, and completely, bald in most places except for near the edge of their legs. A small pack of Ushi Onis are watching you.
It appears we're being watched.
They look pretty comfortable, like they've been sitting there watching you for a little bit. However, it appears as though they have not noticed that you've noticed them. With Shizuko's rolls from before about Oni, he can tell you that Ushi Oni are, they are often, what's it called? They are created from the souls. Specifically, they are created when an Akuma takes over the body, of a human that is predatory. Not specifically, like, sexually, but, like, predatory towards others, either by using people or taking advantage of people's kindness, etc., etc. And they are ambush predators.
So they are probably trying to prey on us and trying to ambush us, and you said they don't seem to know that we've noticed them.
Yep.
Right.
Unless you, like,
Yeah.
start looking at them and calling them out, they're probably not going to notice you. They're very, very stupid. They're considered vermin, meaning they have, like, the intelligence of, like, spiders. Very, very dumb. 1 intelligence.
I think it is time to turn in for the night then.
Would they not attack us once we go to sleep?
We aren't actually going to go to sleep. We are just turning in for the night so that they come to attack us, and we retaliate the ambush by using the fact that they expect us to be asleep as a surprise on them.
I see. Okay.
All right. The group, quote unquote, turns in for the night. We have 2 large tents here if you guys want to share tents, or if you guys want to sleep out in the sand. It's up to you.
Well, we would be normally sleeping in the tents, but we're going to sleep out in the sand at the moment.
All right. You guys sort of gather up and lay down. Mao sort of lays down, and Uyan kind of like lays half on Mao. Mao is the best pillow. All right. Everyone turns in, quote unquote, turns in. The sounds of skittering very clearly alert you, as you hear the sort of like very gentle like psh, 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 of heavy footfalls on sand. Sigi, if you're pretending to be asleep, you can very clearly see the Ushionis very gently creeping towards you. They use their at the end of each leg is a very sharp sort of protrusion of bone, almost like a spider's paw, that very gently sinks into the sand to make it pretty hard to tell that they were there. They don't seem to leave a lot of footprints. Just sort of gentle pinpricks in the sand.
I see.
All right. They're getting pretty close now, Sigi. The one in front of you is only 30 feet away from you.
Should I guess we should probably do something then as they approach us.
You can see very clearly. You absolutely know how pack animals work, Sigi, seeing as you're an expert in all things animals. You can very clearly see them setting up to flank you as well.
I see. Yes, perhaps we should intervene now before their plan is complete.
Alright, let me snap you guys to the grid. Sigi, it's your call. Who wants to break the stealth? Or, I guess it's not Sigi's call. Who wants to break the stealth?
I am not going to bother until I'm sure that they're almost on us.
I was going to say, yeah, because you don't have any ranged weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, I should probably be the one, I think. Because I arranged.
Alright. Let me get some battle music, and Sigi, as the creatures approach you, Wuyan, you very quickly raise up your bow. Which one would you like to shoot? Do you have any preference, or just the closest one?
Probably just the closest one.
All right. I'll eat it. Sorry. I was talking to someone and I accidentally pressed push talk by instinct. Alright, gang. Music time. Give me a single bow shot. Wuyan.
Just one?
Yep. Because in a surprise round, you can either take a standard action or a move action. You don't get a full turn. But this is just the surprise round, and the next turn, everything will start normal.
Do I still shoot twice? Oh no, it's
nope,
not a full attack, right?
Yep,
yeah.
just a single.
Oh. It's still counted as just doing it twice.
Okay, we'll just do the first shot. You quickly raise your bow up, and let loose an arrow. The arrow sticks into the Ushioni's big, dumb, piggy-like face, doing extra damage because he is considered a demon. The Ushioni has a, as it's hit, it has a weird combination between a pig squeal and a man's scream. And they all, as the Ushioni squeals, all the other ones get riled up and they start stomping their feet and getting ready to attack. Up next in the surprise round, Mao. What is Mao doing? What the cat doing?
What the cat doing? So this is still a surprise, so I can't do a full.
Yep.
Right?
You could do a charge technically, but it would only be up to your movement speed, not double. Which it doesn't matter because Mao's movement speed is like 50 feet or something like that. It's super dumb.
Yeah, I'll charge. Where's the Gonna do that?
Yeah, you could.
Alright, let's do that.
And because Mao is a cat, I believe Mao has pounce now. So, even though Mao charged, he can attack with all his attacks at once.
Oh, very cool.
So give me all of Mao's attacks. Ouch. Dealing 16 damage. Shizuko. Shizuko is going to 5-foot step. And as a standard action... Shizuko is going to touch your shoulder and cast...
Wait, is Shizuko supposed to be injured?
No, he's not supposed to be. Okay.
Okay.
He touches your shoulder and is going to give you Cat's Grace. For the next 8 minutes, you have +4 dex.
Oh, very interesting.
Your dex is now 24.
I bet.
Zehu does nothing because he's a little fox. Jijan Bao.
Okay. So, I don't think that the move that creates a bunch of you, I don't think that's necessary. I don't know.
That is a standard action, so you could do that, yeah.
I don't know if I should, because, well, wait, what time of day is it? Because the points reset every day, right?
It is about to be nighttime.
Alright, then I guess I could do that.
I'll say you have 10 points. You have plenty, it only costs 1.
Alright, then I will use that move. I forget what it's called.
Shadow Clones.
Shadow Clones. And then can I also move
No, you could do one or the other. Because it's
okay, then round. I'll make the Shadow Clones first.
3 clones. Weon, you already did your surprise round. You want how Bo? You stand up.
Yep.
Now top of the round again. Now the actual combat starts. Mao.
Mao, attack.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Ouch. 2 of those hurt me. 18 damage. The Ushioni shriels. I tried to combine the words scream and squeal. Didn't work out. The Ushioni squeals in pain as Mao bites and claws at his weird fleshy body. Like a nutsack with legs. Shizuko is going to Shizuko is going to cast the Fortune Hex on Wuyan. Wuyan, so for the next 8 rounds, anytime you roll a d20, you can roll twice and take the bigger number.
Okay.
And then he's going to 5-foot step up, and that's it.
Is that automatically done, or do I have to do it?
You have to do it with it.
Okay.
Ushioni 3 does not like that you shot him, so he's going to charge you.
Oh.
Crunch. However, Lucioni tries to snap down on you with his almost weirdly human mouth, but you quickly dodge out of the way. Jijanbo.
Hmm. I want to attack Ushioni 3.
Alright, so use your move action to stand up, and then you can 5-foot step if you want.
Okay. Do I just do that?
Yep, and then give me a katana swing.
Alright.
It's not sneak attack, but it is a pretty good swing. Ouch. The Ushioni is immediately decapitated by your katana. You quickly, like, kip up to your feet, step forward, and with a quick slice, you rip the thing's head off. Wuyan.
Do I have line of sight to this one?
You do. Because this tent is not straight up, it has the curve.
Okay. Let's see. I will shoot at that one.
Okay, give me some shots. You could do rapid shot if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Ouch, ouch. 23 damage. He's not a big fan. Roundhouse bow.
I'm going to... First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do... I need to look up the name of it. War Leader, which all allies within 30 feet of me gain a teamwork feat that I have. And I'm going to give them all feint partners. So when someone feints, everybody gets the same it is denied the dex bonus to their attacks as well.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, can I have a question?
Yes?
So for that hex thing, could I re-roll that 14?
You could have, actually. Give me a second attack. And we'll see what that third roll is.
Is it a second attack?
Yeah, just roll exactly the same as you did before.
Okay.
That hits. 13 more damage. That actually kills it. 3 quick shots. The last one goes a little wild, but luckily the creature accidentally moves in the way of the bow, or in the way of the arrow and gets hit. It's your lucky day. Okay. Yuan, you give everyone teamwork feats?
Yep. And then I am going to move to there.
Alright. Anything else?
No, that's unfortunately all I can do. If they were closer, I would faint, but I can't.
Ushioni 2 does not like the cat being there. He will try to eat the cat. He fails horribly in his attempt to eat the cat. The cat is too slippery. Ushioni 5, who was kind of ignored this whole time and really doesn't feel good about it, is going to come around the side. And he's going to bite Shizuko. However, Shizuko quickly sort of steps to the side as the creature barrels over the log. Mao.
Mao attack again.
Who would have known? Ouch. The creature absolutely dies as it has 1 hit point left.
Disappeared and vaporized.
These Thanos snapped. Shizuko will 5-foot step, point at the Ushioni, and whisper something. The Ushioni immediately falls asleep. So the Ushioni is asleep for 8 turns, so we're kind of out of combat at this point. You guys have a minute and a half to do whatever you want.
Should we kill it?
No. We should make a pot of tea.
A pot of tea?
Well, with a good fire, it only takes about a minute to make a pot of tea, and then we can each have a drink of tea, and then we can finish it off before the tea goes, before we, or right after we finish our tea. No, I think we should kill it. I'm just being silly.
Okay.
Alright, someone with a melee weapon has to do the coup de grace. Okay. Give me a coup de grace. Just roll an attack. It's an automatic crit. So you reach your wakizashi down, and you swing down at the creature's neck. Okay, 24 damage. So the creature needs to roll a fortitude save, DC 10 plus the damage, so 34, or die instantly. The creature dies instantly. The beach is once again only quiet waves as the Ushioni's head falls to the ground. As the Onis perish, you see them burn away, almost like, God, I don't know what to say exactly. Almost like they're covered in accelerant. They burn way too quick. And then all that's left behind is charred human skeletons. Yuan Habo, you sheath your blade again. Sort of like flick the blood off it and then clean it.
Then I will go ahead and start picking up the skeletons and moving them off and burying them.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, we believe in burning, so I'll throw them in the. Even though they were yokai, at one time they were humans, so I'm going to throw them in the fire.
Okay. You sort of stack up all the bones. There's not many bones left, but the ones you can stack up, you chuck into the fire. And there's a calming sort of presence that exudes from the smoke. Remove all these horrifying nutsack creatures from the beach. Get out of here. Hey guys, good job. No, he's not there. He's very nice, though. So, with the threat destroyed for now, is there anything anyone else would like to do before bed?
Set up watches.
Yep. Okay. I mean, that's normally what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I will roll for nightly encounters, although you have a lower chance because you already rolled an evening encounter. Alright. All 4 of your watches go by without any issue. You wake up in the morning to the sort of salty breeze, as well as the very kind of like gentle charcoal smell of the fire, the sort of final dying breath of the fire. And you pack up, and you grab your kites, and you get moving again.
On the road again. Can't wait to get on
You
the road
you actually
again.
never touch the road. Off the road again. Let's see.
Above the road again.
Above the road again. Perfect. All right. Who here is an arachnophobe? No one?
Not me.
Okay, good. This next part is going to be bad if you are. Because you reach a forest. From the top, it looks strange. All the trees are white. Until you realize that the entire canopy of the forest is a huge web. Sort of, this whole area, like, this whole zone is one giant forest. And it is... The webs are so thick that you think if you're standing on the forest floor, it's got to be pitch dark in that forest. And you land right on the edge of it. What do you do? The trees are dark, sort of like, not like oak, but kind of like a sort of darker, darker wood. And you can clearly see, many, maybe hundreds of harmless spiders sort of prancing around in the trees, in webs, sort of in the grass outside. There's sort of like gentle spider webs sort of in between blades of grass. There's got to be a spider's paradise in there. Dark, damp, lots of bugs.
So it sounds like we need torches to get rid of this webbing.
Webs do go up pretty quick, but lighting a fire could cause a forest fire. That's... The webs are so prevalent in the canopies that you can barely see the leaves.
And the spider would probably be pissed off. It would probably not be the best way to get on spider's good side. So maybe we don't do that. Anybody else have any ideas?
Leon really has like something in his throat. It's been there for like days.
Spider, get your tongue.
You know that like phony statistic that's like you swallow 7 spiders a year or something like that? In this forest, it's like 7 a night.
Oh, that's so sad.
They just love it in your tummy. They're going in there for some reason. Oh yeah, this thing that's a mouth, I love going in there.
Mmm. Tasty. Mmm, yum. Yummy.
All the
yum.
spiders are just really into vor. And there's no explanation why. Spiders are all just kind of freaks.
I can believe that. I can honestly believe that. Okay, so I guess we're going in. The best, from what I can figure out, the best way to do it is to light a lantern instead of a torch, because we do not want to catch the webbing on fire. But the other problem is that may attract more bugs. So we will check to see if Shizuko can cast a light or any other sort of light that doesn't
Shizuko could
heat,
cast dancing lights.
which would give us a light source that isn't being held by us, which might be a better idea. Everybody like that idea?
Sure.
Yes.
Alright, gang. You step into the forest. Can I get a marching order? So, here's your tokens. Please place them in the order you are marching through this forest. Shizuko and his father will take the middle. Okay, weird that you're doing it sideways, but I appreciate it.
Oh, we were just doing it along that line there.
Oh, no, I'm only doing this because, Zehu is being held.
Okay, which way did you want to do the line?
Okay, one sec. Let go for a sec, Hope. Like that.
Okay, no problem.
Where are you going, Wuyan? And I assume you're at the front, right? Or Wuyan, do you want to lead through this forest with your survival skills?
I should probably lead.
All right.
If no one else objects.
Not at all.
I swallowed another spider.
True. It's actually kind of hard to not touch a spider here, turns out. You walk through a web as you sort of step through. It's almost like a... It feels like, they're so thick at the exits, it feels like walking through a screen door. You are absolutely covered as you walk in. Once you're actually in the forest itself, there's not that many webs like in between the trees. It's almost like a coat around the forest. As you step in, the light level transitions from the sort of the bright daytime to this sort of almost dusky. There is some light that's being let in, but the light is dimmed by the thick canopy. This music is much too nice. Let's get some much more fitting music. There you go. Okay. You step in the forest, and very quickly you find a footpath. The footpath does not look well traveled, but it's very clearly set up there for a purpose. Sigi, would you like to follow the footpath, or would you like to try to find your own way to the center of this wood? You can consult the group. It's not just your decision, but it is a decision that you're going to have to make, because the footpath doesn't appear to be a straight line, but it does look the most clear and like traveled.
Yeah, I'm gonna consult the group.
What are you thinking, guys? And Hope.
Well, we don't know where we are going, so to me, it seems better to have some sort of guidance as the path than nothing at all. Unless Wuyan is very confident.
I tend to agree with Hope. Let's go ahead and just stay on the path, at least at the moment.
Okay.
Alright, gang. Let's see. Okay. As you sort of travel through the weary wood, sort of stepping over sort of like long branches that have fallen and pressing your way through webbing. Mao is just an absolute mess at this point. Mao does not have the conscience or recompense to be able to brush spiderwebs off of himself, and he is just like he's like a sheep. It is actually absolutely disgusting as you guys are just brushing through what must be years and years, decades of webs. Um, whoever, it sort of makes you like question who visits Spider, um, in any serious regard, because this is an absolute hellish place, um, in every sense of the word. Let's see. Okay. Sigi, will you give me a survival check? As you lead the group fearlessly, hopefully fearlessly.
Jeez.
That is still enough, but it is a terrible roll for you. Um, let's see. Okay. As you sort of follow the path, um, you sort of brush through webbing. Luckily, because you're following the path, the roll is much easier. Although you can very clearly see that the path is not like it's not straightforward at all. There's like a point where after you reach a sort of curve in the path, and after like 5-6 minutes of following it, you see as you reach the end of the curve that you could have just taken a straight line, um, to where the path connects. It's almost a little bit infuriating, like someone purposefully designed the path to be confusing.
Hmm.
I'm not exactly sure why though. Um, this path was caused by foot traffic. If you'd actually give me a knowledge nature check, I could tell you about this path. Wow, you're rolling really bad today.
I know.
See, not really a lot can be said. It's probably traveled by. I mean, it's probably traveled like maybe once, twice a week. That's the best you can really figure out.
Oh boy.
Although you're not exactly sure by how many people, who exactly does it. Again, it's all conjecture at this point. Like, it would just be guessing.
Hmm.
All right. You begin to reach this sort of center of the wood. Um, and as you do, you can see very clearly that the canopy gets thicker and the spiders get bigger. It goes from daddy long legs, which is still pretty big, to like you see trees covered in tarantula-sized spiders. Um, Again, none of them harm you. You are never once bitten when entering the wood. Um, However, the spiders do crawl sort of on you when you're not noticing, and you have to sort of brush them away. Um, and a lot of them are just kind of like sitting on trees, and just kind of you can't really tell if they're watching you because they're spiders. Um, they're not exactly super obvious, um, but it is
I would like
definitely.
to. I would like to make a willpower check to see if I can avoid brushing them off.
You just want to chill with the spiders.
My character thinks uh, that this is Spider's domain, and the idea of brushing them off or treating them like pests is probably rude to Spider.
All right, give me a will save, or you can just do it if you want how Bo believes that, and that is what his plan is. You can just do it. You don't have to make a will save.
Okay, sounds good. Then yeah, that's his plan.
All right. Eventually, after like 4 or 5 hours of walking through this absolute, it might as well be a layer of the abyss. Um, you reach an enormous rock formation in the shape of a spider's head right in the center of the wood, covered in webbing, almost so much so that it's hard to see the rock. So it's sort of like this large black and white spider's head shape, with this sort of obsidian set in instead of eyes. And the mouth of the spider is open, leading into pitch darkness below. What do you do?
Do you think this is where we're supposed to go? Looking at both Shizuko for the idea that Shizuko would know about about the yokai, and look at Wuyan for the fact that he would know about where the trail is going.
Wuyan, the path ends in the mouth. It seems obvious enough, although you're not sure, like, exactly? Like, maybe there's a secret path, but you don't see one.
Yeah, I would assume this is. Yeah.
How is, Ji Bo doing? That's you, Hope. Hope you're muted, by the way, if you didn't.
Sorry. Not Jijambo is not enjoying the spiders, but now that there's an exit in sight, feeling a little bit more invigorated.
All right. The cave is in front of you. Do you enter?
Looking at both of them to see if we should, if they think we should.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. You enter the spider den. Tell me you're loaded in.
I am loaded in.
I'm loaded.
I am not loaded, but I'm in.
I'm in. All right. This sort of stone slab staircase goes down into a small sort of greeting platform that drops down about a sheer 15 feet to yet another sort of like solid floor surface. The wall is sort of rocky enough that it's pretty easy to climb down, but climbing up in a hurry would be difficult.
Okay, so I guess we climb down.
All right. To the right, you hear the sort of babbling of a gentle sort of underground stream into a sort of small pool of water. Wuyan, to your left. Oh, I gotta grab Shizuko. Wuyan, to your left, in that pile of pebbles, that pile of rocks in front of you, you see one of the rocks is actually not a rock at all, but a darkened and dirty, blackened skull, with the top part of the skull, like the cap of it, is shattered.
That's fun. Not ominous at all.
Around you on the walls, non-threatening spiders glower at you. And forward, you see a small bit of light kind of in the distance, although you can't tell where it's coming from. Deeper in the cave, there's a sort of dull light, almost like moonlight. The group does not want to continue stepping forward. Okay, there you go. Okay. These sort of steps in front of you are very gentle, maybe like 4 or 5 inches. Looking down into this platform you on, into this room you on, there's a large antechamber. Through holes in the ceiling, there is sort of very, very gentle light, sort of leaving, filling this area, filling it with dim light. This whole area is filled with dim light. Although, if
Okay.
you want to, Shizuko can light the whole area up.
Nope.
Okay. As you turn the corner, you see on the wall, the spiders get bigger and bigger, until you start seeing these kinds of spiders. Spiders, as you turn the corner, some of them peek around at you. Spiders the size of men. Hang both from the ceiling and the walls.
Sighs softly and then continues on. Because, yeah, we're in the spider den now.
The spiders all glower at you with their cute little eyes. Look at them. Aw. Look at how cute. Zoom in on them. Very cute. Okay. Sorry, I will move away from the spiders. Alright. In front of you, there's this small sort of stream. And sitting on the other side, you see... something that maybe in the future you're gonna wish you didn't. That spider right there is about twice as large as an elephant. Think like twice as big as like Shelob from Lord of the Rings. Return of the King. It's a big girl. Sitting on the edge of the river near the very large spider, dipping her feet in, you see what at first looks like a woman. But you can tell that there's something very wrong with her as the moonlight kind of shines on her eyes and she looks at you. I'll zoom in on her. From her back and her neck, there are spider leg-like protrusions that sort of painfully stick out of the skin.
Slowly start approaching, or continue to approach.
Alright. You reach the edge of the water, and Spider's eyes sort of very gently turn to you. The creature kind of stands up nearly to its full height as it kind of looks down upon you guys. Spider says, guessed so soon. As she speaks, the little mandibles, the little cute little mouth fingers of the spider wave. Guess so soon. The last man ran away. What brings
I
you
am
here?
sure. What brings us is we are looking for the blessings of the yokai.
Ah, a blessing. That is simple. Leave your offering and I will consider it. Spider kind of like leans down and the young freakish woman sort of whispers something to Spider. And Spider kind of cocks her head. Ah, My daughter says that you are Yuan Haobo. I have heard a lot about you.
I am Yuan Habo.
And this is your posse?
Looks confused for a half second, then says, yes.
Yes, I've heard stories from the other yokai. Mostly Dove. That young boy never stops chattering. Spider kind of like clicks her mandibles and uses the little fingers on the front of her little mandibles to sort of brush the front of her face hairs.
Good or bad?
Well, some of both. I hear you're looking to be king or something.
Yes.
Well, I see no issue with such a thing. Although there will be stipulations for my blessing.
And what are these stipulations?
She kind of looks your group up and down. Who in the group has the most charisma?
I think it's Yuan.
Yeah, I think it's me.
Actually, it's Yuan, Shizuka, and Jijanbo are all tied.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who in the group is the most physically fit? Meaning, who has the highest scores of strength, dex, and con put together?
Let's see. I have a +7 there.
Actually, that was
+4.
Jijan.
Yeah, Jijan has a +9.
I will give you my blessing if the most beautiful among you marries me. She points with her mandible at Jijanbo. That one will do.
Jijanbo is shocked.
I think Jijanbo is married.
Oh no. I don't know.
Spider's daughter sort of like gives you a wave. The girl looks like she's maybe in her early teens, maybe like 14, 15 years old. You will either marry me, or you'll wait until my daughter comes of age and then marry her. If I have your pact, you will get my blessing.
Wait, how old is Jijanbo?
Jijanbo is 45 years old.
What's a little age difference between spider people and normal humans?
God, actually, wait a second. Jijanbo might be old as fuck. I think Jijanbo is in his late 50s in this campaign. Because Yuan Haobo is like in his early 20s to his late 20s to early 30s. Yeah. Spider moves her mandibles. If age is a difference and it's an issue for you, I am thousands of years old. Spider shows off one of her legs.
Oh,
it's a big old spider leg. You're not sure if it's meant to be arousing or scary.
Actually, we are. The answer is yes.
It's scare-rousing.
What?
and this is the only way for us to receive your blessing.
Yes, I have many sons, she motions around, but I've realized that I can only have daughters with humans. Or other mortal kind. These spiders, they're all sons, but I really wish to have a daughter of my own. And why stop at one? See, you're pointing at Spider.
Yeah.
So what do you say? Zoom. Yuan Haobo?
What
He
the
is
fuck?
your servant. What do you say?
I will look to you on how about.
You look at yourself, weird, but okay.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
You look at yourself like metaphorically and spiritually.
Yes. No, I look at Zhejiang Bo. I mean, I my character has recently picked up a lot from trying to teach the yokai. So he believes that given Zhejiang Bo the chance to make a decision on this particular issue is better than
I was gonna
him
say,
making.
Yuan, how about you saw your aunt like a year ago. Um, you don't think they're not married anymore? Um,
Okay, at which point I will say, he is already married, so he would not be available.
Spider narrows her eyes if she could do that because she has no eyelids. Um, you can tell, you can get the vibe. Um, well, why not simply get rid of this wife? If she's mortal, she will die at some point. I cannot.
Fuck.
My daughter well, my daughter is half mortal. She will live for much longer. Is not the point of marriage to stay together forever?
The point of marriage, I thought, was to give me a half second. I've got to think about how he would think of marriage, because this is a culture that does arranged marriages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a half second while I think.
At
about
least
how
in noble families, arranged marriage is very popular. In less like noble families and like common families, it usually marriage is for love. Um, but you would have grown up around people not knowing who their wife or husband is until the day of the wedding.
So yeah, this is actually perfectly within the realm of what he considers acceptable, other than she's already married, or he is already married.
I was about to say, Zhijan Bo was probably assigned an arranged marriage, but it's up to Zhijan whether he loves his wife or is just married to his wife. And that's a choice that he can decide right now.
Is divorce a thing in this culture?
Divorce is a thing, but it's frowned upon.
Even amongst the royalty?
Yeah, usually wives and husbands die tragically, um, rather than divorce being a thing, because divorce is a scandal.
Dies tragically.
And the accidental hunting accident is much less of a scandal.
It's easier to explain. Whoops, she died, rather than here's the reasons I would like to never see her again. Um, that kind of thing.
Plotting. Okay.
You've played Crusader Kings 2, you know it. It's basically that.
Yes.
Spider looks at you in a way that only a spider can. You can,
You mean like hungrily?
yeah, no, yeah, like every emotion is hungrily. If the spider could smirk, it would be smirking. Except it has no lips, only the weird feely finger mouth.
I don't want to get us into trouble. A sticky situation, but
Oh, get it, 'cause webs. But also, you probably don't want to have to marry and bang a spider.
yeah.
Who says you have to consummate the marriage?
I mean,
She's
that's
looking
kind of
for
the
children.
point.
What if you were to get what is it called?
Whatever you say, I'm not gonna like it.
No, what if you what do you call it? I forget what it's called. Something betrothed.
Get betrothed now
With that.
for the blessing and then have the wedding later?
Yeah.
And then what, just run out?
It's an idea.
I'm going to have to let Spider down as gently as possible.
You have to think about the good of the country,
We,
the good of the dynasty.
Bang this spider for the nation.
Yeah.
no, we need to help. We need to be Spider's wingmen and find her a better partner.
That could be a
Okay,
plan.
What if Spider just fucking married Dove? Because isn't Dove supposed to be the most beautiful thing? But then
Dove is also a child.
Well, aren't they like 1,000 years old or some shit?
Yeah, but also it's kind of weird just from my perspective.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Dove, here, you want me to find Dove's art? Because I know that Hope has never seen Dove.
I don't even remember what.
Here he is. Look at how cute he is.
Get Dove betrothed to Spider's daughter.
That could be possible. Again, it's up to you and how you want to fix this sticky situation. Get it? 'Cause webs.
Ha 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 ha. Funny.
Hee 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 hoo hoo.
Ha ha ha.
Wait, so okay, question.
Okay, I have an answer.
Spider said, the point of Spider is immortal, and they said that the point of marriage would be together forever. So would I, if I'm not going to, but if I were to marry Spider, would I then become? I would not.
Spider could make you immortal.
Okay, so I can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah. Spider could essentially bind your soul to hers forever, making you immortal as long as she's alive.
Alright.
You have heard of yokai, like, picking partners forever. And essentially it would be kind of the same situation. This is a much harder situation than just telling her to let her boyfriend go. Obviously, Tiger Mole's information wasn't entirely correct.
Wait, what happened to the father of the daughter?
Would you like to ask?
We don't know yet. It may not be a good thing to ask.
Yeah.
It may be a good thing to ask. It may be a good thing to find out. But it also may not be, because it may be that...
Spider did say that the last guy ran off. You ever just have a one-night stand with a spider goddess? Who's not even like a weird, like, sexy human spider combo. It's just a full spider. Not even like a Drider. Just like an actual big spider.
I keep the one night stand with spiders to driders, but I guess it would be possible.
I mean, driders are also horrifying, but just in a less obvious way. Hmm.
Do you want to go with the um trying to get Spider's daughter a husband, or I'm consulting I guess
The group is
I
in
don't
a
know.
little circle whispering to each other.
I propose that suggestion.
Uh, I would. Well, you know, it then deals with the problem of Tiger Mole, and it also because Tiger Mole doesn't want a yokai. Technically, she's not yokai; she's only part yokai. So, wouldn't be part of the original agreement to not take a mortal.
It's also strange because usually when a yokai and a human mate, the kid comes out perfectly human. Like, you have no clue what's going on with Spider's daughter. She looks like horribly messed up and like mangled. You have no clue what that is, though. I mean,
I don't know. Okay. I guess
who knew this would be tougher than solving political issues or fighting demons?
I know. I'm just gonna have to tell Spider. I don't know how to phrase it.
Come on, you're broken up with someone in real life. It's kind of like that. Also, I found this great meme I'm going to post in the chat.
I'm terribly sorry. But I'm already married and I'm not willing to leave my wife. I don't know, something like that. That's the best I can do. I'm not a very charismatic person.
Yeah, give me a diplomacy to let her down easy.
Okay.
If you fail, we get
Can I aid in that?
swarmed by this.
Yeah, what would you like to say? Tade.
I will say that there's, but while Shijan Bo is not willing, I may be able to find another uh, suitable mate for your daughter.
Okay. That's enough of a roll without the aid for you to allow that. Oh? And who do you suggest?
I don't know yet. I want to speak with my advisors and come up with somebody that is suitable, not just somebody that is looking at Jijan Bo, present and good looking. Somebody that would do well for you.
Yeah, there's a lot better looking people than Jijan Bo out there.
It's kind of fucked up, but yeah, true.
A marriage of this sort should be done with thought to make sure that the both parties get the best possible outcome. And as I am looking for your blessing, I would choose someone that would give you a good outcome as well.
Fine. Find my daughter or me a husband and you will have my blessing. Someone strong.
What other qualities do you want in a possible mate for your
Someone,
daughter?
preferably someone immune to poison.
Very well.
That is all.
Okay. Someone strong and immune to poison.
Not just a human. Any mortal will do.
They have to be mortal?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
I've learned a special trick from a good friend of mine, from Shaolang. What do you call him in your language? She whispers something in a language that you don't speak, but then says, I forgot what his name is. One sec. Bao Lu Jing. Bao Lu Jing, you know, is the white deer spirit. He is like a patron of farmers and agriculture in Shaolang, specifically southern Shaolang. Bai Lu Jing has taught me something special. To give some of my essence away when I birth a child with a mortal.
I will nod appreciatively.
Alright? You can see yourself out. My children will not harm you.
Okay, then I guess we turn around and head out.
Okay, gang. You sort of walk far enough away that it's not very obvious if you want to speak that anything can hear you.
So, who do we find? She needs a mortal that is immune to poison.
She'd prefer if they were immune to poison.
What if we go to one of the nearby settlements to look for people? And maybe we can just give them large amounts of anti-venom or something.
This is a very tricky situation. Because you would essentially be giving this person to Spider for the rest of their natural lifespan. Or unnatural lifespan. Or you'd be giving them to Spider for the rest of their both their natural lifespans. Or at least until shit went down. Or they got like a messy divorce, or I don't know. Could you get the Spider to sign a prenup? Who knows? Who knows what marriage law is like when it's spiders?
Okay, so
So let's make a here in general chat. Let's make a list of options for finding a husband, right? So, number 1, go to nearby village and find someone. Or when you say find someone, do you mean take someone or convince someone?
Convince someone.
Okay. What other options do we have?
go back to the the um to the main castle and find somebody.
You could, yeah.
That might make it easier, since then I could rely upon the other advisors to bring me possible candidates that would be, instead of just grabbing somebody from a village.
Um, Originally, a good idea would be find the person whose clan is attached to the spider. But the only woman in your that is a general in your army is the one that is interested in spider. So that's not exactly gonna work.
But does she have relatives or anybody that she could use as, because that's one of the things that people do is they go ahead and have
Um,
relatives.
you know that the General Yin does have a brother, an older brother. He's maybe in his early 40s. And also, the stipulation that it has to be a mortal means it doesn't have to be a human. It could be an animal. However, that would be much harder to convince. Um,
Spider of, because the intelligence factor
yeah.
of her children.
And also, spider stats are nuts. He's got like what 25 intelligence, 25 wisdom, 25 charisma, or 20, 24 of each. Hmm.
I think that the brother of the general is probably the best bet.
All right. You're just gonna have to go back to the capital and convince Yin and her brother.
Well,
Does
that would. I
Does that
think that
sound like
would
a
be.
plan?
I think it is the best plan. What does anybody disagree? Anybody got other ideas?
No,
You want Leon is just scarfing the spiders down.
I know.
They're like little popcorn chickens, and they crunch.
Correct.
All right, we step out into Minkai, out of the horrifying room. So, gang, I'll zoom out. Here's the capital. Here's where you guys are now. The nearest village is Chozawa, which is under Salamander. And the next nearest village is Masakabo, whose people worship Spider.
What is the easiest way to get back to Nakamura?
Nukumaru. Um,
Nukamura.
the easiest would be via boat. The fastest would be via kite. Although either way, it would take. Oh. It's gonna take 11 days to get there.
What is 11 days in the grand scheme of things? We're here for the long haul. I mean, I plan to go ahead, have children, and rule this land for at least another 40 years.
All right, gang. Does anyone oppose the 11-day kite ride?
No.
No.
All right, gang. Let's go back. Day 1. Day 2. All right. Uh, the evening comes, and you cross over the mountain passes once again. You see something familiar. You see something familiar. In the mountain passes, the sort of valleys, you see a familiar-looking lantern light.
Looks like time to see if our friend needs a hand again.
Would you like to stop? See?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. You land once again in a familiar mountain pass. So, I'm going to have to get really close to the mic again. As you all land down, you see the Yamajiji is nailing this end of the bridge rope down into the stone. And he's very clearly fixing the bridge up. He doesn't appear to hear your approach as you sort of very gracefully land on the stone and dirt path.
Is it still light enough to be able to ride the kites if we were to want to jump to the other side?
Yeah.
Okay. So, approach the Yamajiji. Yamajiji?
The Yamajiji turns his one big eye and one incredibly small eye to you. And he sort of gives you a slight smile, and he says, "Hello once again, friends."
Hello. It is light enough now that we can help you get across if you want to do more rope work on the other side safely.
I am in no need of help, friends.
Very well.
I fixed the bridge. It's working and it's functional again.
Very well. Good to hear. We just came to verify and make sure that everything was good with you.
Yes. I can now safely move from my hunting grounds to my home. Thanks to your help.
Good. We're pleased to hear that.
Would you like to come home with me for dinner?
We would be honored.
All right. The Yamajiji sort of points north, and he says, "My house is about a few hours' walk that way." But with those kites you have, and your power to fly, it'll be much faster.
Yes, we'll take you with us.
Okay. So, with the Yamajiji in tow, he's pretty easy to pick up. He's like 3 feet tall. You gather him up, and God, I gotta do the whisper this whole time then. Let's see. Let me grab you guys. Why can't I find the map? There it is. Alright. After only about 20-25 minutes of flying, you reach a small clearing where set up is not a house, but a campsite.
Loaded.
I'm loaded.
The Yamajiji hops on his one big foot and one very, very small foot. It's almost comical if it wasn't a little bit disturbing. What you see in front of you is not a home, but an abandoned campsite. The Yamajiji kind of like takes this tent down and sort of lays it out like a picnic blanket. As you guys sort of look up, there's this small little alcove that the campsite's on. It's maybe about 5 feet off the ground, sort of like up on the cliff. What would you guys like to do?
Head on up with him.
Okay. You climb up and you see the fire is not lit, but it was lit probably sometime within the last few days. The tents are ransacked, and there's no sign of who actually set this place up. What is everyone else doing besides Yuan? Shizuko will come up as well.
Does he look disgruntled, like he had his place ransacked, or does he look
Nope.
more like
He looks completely fine, like a man setting up a home for a guest. He's
Okay.
laying the tent out like a he lays the tent out like not a sleeping bag, a picnic a blanket, and then Yamajiji sort of hops with his one big leg into the tent here, and he pulls out a basket of fresh plums, which he sets down like a 4-course meal, and he sort of like plops down next to the burnt out campfire site and starts digging into the plums and kind of like motions at the plums for you guys.
Okay, so I will take some.
Don't make the bachelorette. I just saw that maybe general chat. No, the bachelorette spider. So Yuan, you sit. Shizuko also sits down. In front of you, there is a basket of fresh plums. Sort of like the just very average color. There's a lot of plums. There's like maybe like 3-4 dozen plums in a basket. You're not sure if it was here when the Yamajiji set up shop, or if the Yamajiji had collected these plums. I'm not going to do very quiet chewing noises. You guys are safe from that. What'd you like to do? Sit down and enjoy some plums?
I definitely am. I'm going to be enjoying some plums and speaking to the Yamajuji about about his camp or about his house and how he came about it.
All right. So what do you want to say to him exactly? Oh.
Sorry.
No, continue.
I also will enjoy a plum or two.
Nice. The plums are not as fresh as they look, but they are edible. And they certainly aren't terrible. As you sort of look at the Yamajiji, he says, "It's a nice place, isn't it?"
How did you acquire such a place?
Oh, it's where I usually sleep, although one week I came back and there was all these weird things. He points at the tents. He says, yeah, they were just here, and so, some free stuff in them, so I grabbed it. I guess whoever owned them never came back. He shrugs and gobbles down a plum.
And what do you normally hunt?
Oh, I only eat. I'm a vegetarian. I only eat, plums. If there was other fruits, I'd eat them too. But only plums, grow near here. There's a bunch of plum trees, um, just
I
to the
will
south.
I will take out some trail rations and share the nuts and other things like that with him.
Oh, thank you. He very quickly scarfs them down, same as a number plum. Then when he's finished with that, he sort of folds up the small little paper that it's folded in, gives it to you, and then he takes a plum from the basket and starts eating another plum.
Okay. Then
So,
just kind of. Oh,
you
go
never,
ahead.
you never told me why you were traveling around and how you can fly. Usually, Kun doesn't let people fly without permission.
Actually, we got Kuhn's blessings to fly.
Oh, well, you must be pretty important then. I wish I
Uh,
could fly.
One day, yeah, soon, I wish to become king of this land.
King
Yes,
of the whole place?
of the island. Yes.
Huh. We haven't had a king in a really long time.
I am traveling to get the yokai's blessing.
Well, you have my blessing for helping me.
I will bow. Thank you.
Although, usually my kind are much more shy. On account of our voice.
Yes, very caring.
I don't know. There's a lot of, Yamajiji in the mountains, like me. Although usually they challenge people to shouting contests for wishes. Although I've given that up. No one ever wins anyway. I suppose they just think it's funny.
Why would somebody want to wish? Would they not want to earn what they get?
Well, not everyone can earn everything, and sometimes there are just things out of your reach. Love, money, etc. I only ever knew one mortal who actually shouted louder than me, but he died a long time ago. Despite the fact that I'm whispering, you hear his voice as if he's talking right in your ear. He's still very loud.
Yes. Uh, it. I don't think that any of us would be louder than you, my friend. Though I don't think we want to be. I think we are pleased with who we are, and with what we are earning ourselves.
It's certainly a good way to win an argument. Although, I don't get in them very often.
To just be louder than your opponent?
It works sometimes.
I could understand that.
Are you enjoying your plums? He motions at Jijanbo and Wuyan, who kind of are quietly sitting there and watching the conversation.
Yes, thank you for your hospitality.
Of course. I mean, if you want any of this other stuff, you can take it. He motions at the tents. There's a lot of stuff in there that I really don't know how to use. Or I have no use for.
Okay, I'm going to start looking through the tents then.
Alright. I'm going to get my tent loot. 1 second. One of the first things you find is a wand. This wand is... Let's see, it is a cleric spell. First level cleric wand. This is a wand of protection from chaos, with 23 charges left.
Okay. Well, I think Shizuko should probably hold that, since I think it's the only person that has a spell list.
Yep. The only magical person in the group. Yeah, that's true.
Magic.
Oh, Wuyan is also magic. That's true. But actually, no, Protection from Chaos is on your list. Wuyan could also use it if he wanted to.
Please grab it.
What does it do again?
It's a Protection from Chaos wand. It has 23 charges. It allows you to cast Protection from Chaos on whoever you touch.
It's actually not a bad thing for you to carry because of the fact that if a chaotic creature were to... it repels chaotic creatures. It gives you better AC versus chaotic creatures. Summon chaotic creatures just can't approach you. There's a whole bunch of neat bonuses that it gives you. And while it may not work on everything, it will go ahead and give you something that, since you're ranged, it'll give you a little bit extra protection.
All right. Whoever wants to search this campsite, give me a perception check for the rest of the loot, because it's a real mess. The Yamajiji didn't really care or seem to really even think about what he was doing. A lot of you see a lot of potions that are broken and just spilled on the ground, totally worthless. Let me see what you can find through this mess. Make perception checks, all of you. All right. Since Shizuka's not a player, I will have an actual player discover it. Jijan. A lot of the stuff in here looks pretty worthless. It's mostly just traveling supplies, old rotted meat. But the one thing you find is very strange. There is a bundle, a leather bundle, with a single item in it. It's very thin, whatever the item is, and it's not very heavy. What do you do with it? It doesn't have a zipper, because zippers actually are a pretty recent invention. It has a sort of... It kind of looks like a quiver, in a way.
I will see what's inside.
Okay. You unload it. And... let's see. You unload it, and inside is a single arrow. The arrow is incredibly carved, with artistic depictions of sort of like... It's sort of like a curved and carved artistic depiction, so that the shaft of the arrow is like almost spiraling towards a point. And the point ends with a incredibly sharp-looking silver tip. Jijan, you walk over to Wuyan, I assume?
Yes. See what he knows, if he knows anything, what this arrow might be capable of.
Wuyan, Shizuka will tell you that, using detect magic, the arrow is magical, and it has an aura of intense necromancy.
Necromancy.
Yep. Wuyan, You and Shizuko together can figure out this is an arrow of chaotic outsider slaying. Specifically, it's a greater slaying arrow. The greater slaying arrow, if you shoot a chaotic outsider, so a creature that is not native to this plane, like a demon or a fae or a yokai, with this arrow, it will instantly deal 100 points of damage and can never miss.
Yes. I want it now. Give me it.
I say we give it to Jehu.
I say we give it to Mao.
I like that idea.
No.
This is an incredibly dangerous weapon. However, once the arrow hits, it immediately is disintegrated and worthless. So you can't reuse it.
Power.
It is the equivalent of a heightened Finger of Death spell. Dealing exactly 100 points of damage.
That's epic. I want it.
I give it to Wuyan as he seems very interested in it, to say the least.
Alright, Leon. The arrow kind of very, very gently pulses in your hands, almost like a heartbeat. This thing is... It's really, really powerful, and you better use it correctly. That, however, appears to be the only real thing of value in the camp. So it really comes to show you who is traveling with this arrow. And why did they not take it with them? Weird.
Strange.
It is going to bite us in the butt. And
That arrow, by the way, unlike a normal greater sling arrow, which is one that you have to shoot and then hit, and then they have to make a saving throw or take the damage, this one just deals the damage and it can never miss.
Epic.
I mean, so 100 points of damage seems like a lot, right? And it is a lot. 6 of these arrows would kill a demon lord. However, you would have to have 6 of them. And you have no idea how these arrows are made. So, gang.
That's sad.
The Yamajiji, nods. He says, oh, they left their bow here too, but it's just a regular old bow. I don't know where they went. They were gone, like, I don't know. They just set up camp, lit the fire, and then they all just walked away. I never even saw them.
Where's the bow?
Oh, Yamajiji hops on his one big leg and brings you an old heirloom bow. Clearly it was important to someone, but it doesn't have any real value and it's not magical.
I see.
Mystery.
So, I have a feeling that we're going to find out more when we try sleeping ourselves, and we start wandering off. But let's go ahead and continue.
All right. Conveniently at this time, the Yamajiji offers you to stay if you like.
We would enjoy that. Thank you for your hospitality.
You can sleep in the tents if you want. I'm just gonna sleep on the grass. The Yamajiji sits down with his one big leg and one very, very small leg, and sort of plops down on his stomach. Sort of face first into the grass. The Yamajiji takes his one arm and his one big arm and his one very, very small arm. This creature is really just messed up. Waves it a few times, and the campfire lights up. He says, if you need light, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. The Yamajiji lays down, and the group left to their own devices as the Yamajiji is quickly to sleep. Luckily for everyone here and their ears, the Yamajiji does not snore.
Okay, so I guess we turn in ourselves because we've had a long day.
Would anyone
and do
like
watches.
to... what was that?
Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna ask?
Would anyone like to do anything before bed? I shoot the Yamajiji now. Does anyone want to do anything before bedtime?
No, I'm pretty.
Any
good.
conversations they want to have, or anything they want to look around at?
Mm-mm.
All right. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it right there. Because that is the end of what I have prepped.
Okay.
To be honest,
It's not a bad time.
oh yeah, to be honest, I expected a fight with Spider. You guys were very, very kind to Spider.
Why wouldn't we be?
I mean, no, you guys are the very, very talk it out group, but I expected a fight with Spider, to be honest.
Yeah, we, if it's possible, he wants blessings from all the yokai, and I'm having him learn. See, he's taking yokai as and their reactions and all the things that he's having to teach them. He's also learning lessons from them. So, in between the two, yeah, he just wouldn't, unless he has to. He refuses to fight any yokai.
Well, gang, I hope everyone enjoyed that short but funny session. For the wrap up,
Hey, yo, look who fell.
I want you to watch this video right here. There you go. It has nothing to do with the session. Recording stop.